Alexa, time to stream. Good afternoon. I am back again. I don't know. Did I stream yesterday? I keep forgetting what days I've streamed and which ones I haven't because at this point I've been work. So for the last couple of days or few days, I have been trying to get my auto team generator working. Guess what? I got it working. Now I can create an 8-team league consistently. It's loading up everybody. It's putting in all the required players, coming up with salary caps for each team that are reasonably equal. And so yeah, I can auto generate a league now. Now so far I'm only doing 8-team leagues. I'll have to do some editing to my data a little bit more before I can go into creating my bigger teams, 12, 16, 24, 32 team leagues. I have enough data to easily do 24 team leagues. I'll have to actually import more data to do 32 team leagues because a fair number of players got exceptioned out because they just didn't have any data for me to work with. Now, some of them I might be able to get back because some players played on multiple teams. And what it's going to do is it actually brings in more players that are at the bottom because really the players that are exceptioned out are bottom end players. Very few stars in the mess. The ones that got exceptioned out are mostly like guys who played a little bit on multiple teams. They built up a few stats, probably enough to get some basic stuff, but they're showing up as the wrong team. So I got any player that didn't have a team associated to them got exceptioned out. So that dumped probably a handful. And I also have I like 600 players that don't have positions assigned to them. Now I don't know why that came out that way, but one of my plans for the upcoming, maybe not this sprint, but next sprint, is to create a Python library some Python scripts that use the Python NFL stats library. And hopefully I can get all the base information for all my players that way. Maybe even start setting up data that comes in and build straight off of my now created, what do you call it? The flat structure for my Mongo database. So what that means is I have my Mongo database here, and when I imported data from my spreadsheet, which is all the data I had, I created this import that pulled it all into this bulk, this stats data file, and these are all just every stat that I had. A lot of it I wasn't using, but a lot of it I was from a lot of different sheets, and it pulls together all these pieces. Now, it only brought in the ones where a player actually had stats, so there's a lot of miscellaneous overlap here, right? Some people have, some defensive stuff because they're defensive players, and other players would be on some of the rushing stuff because they're running backs. But it would pull it all together, and then ultimately my data pool creator, where I actually built the player pool, which is one of the things I've been doing the last couple of weeks. Part of that was to build this stats table. Now this standardizes all of my stats. So pretty much everybody should have the same set of stats. Now players that don't have certain stats will just be zeros. But the advantage is now I've got a nice set of stat base that I can format my imports off of. So now in the future, I could start hopefully being able to import data for all my other seasons by simply reading off of a stat source. Now, if I can create a base stat source that I can generate, or the better solution is if I can get all this data algorithmically from, I say algorithmically because it's not a direct import. A lot of stuff's going to have to be some math and some logic, like targets 11 to 20 down here. This is aggregation because the Python library doesn't have numbers like targets 11 to 20. What it has is all the stats, and you have to sum up, how far was this pass, how far was that pass, how far, and you sum up all the ones that land within certain ranges, and you create these parts. But it's supposedly a very in-depth play-by-play source of data, which might even allow me some interesting extra things. Like I would love to be able to get maybe some snap counts, players, how much they actually played, which could actually adjust some of my math, because I have some right now. A lot of it's just based on what oh, I have an update going on. So anyway, if I could start importing directly to this, I already have my system set up that it should be able to import from this information. All I have to do is build the the mapping. So all my functions will instead read from this data, which means it can read all the different data, all the different years, all at once. And so if I can import this, I can maybe get my whole 15, 16 seasons worth of data, because apparently the Python library is good since like 1999. I'm not going to go that far back, but some years are going to be more complete than others because they have different stats. I'm going to basically do 16 years. I would love to be able to get stats for like stars and stuff of the past, get some maybe Barry Sanders, Joe Montana, and various other superstars from way back when, but that's going to be tricky because I don't know what stats are actually available for them, and that's a later thing. That's a feature, an enhancement for some point in the game's existence. But the idea here is just to keep putting players in with the player pool. And right now I haven't scrambled names yet. I'll do that too. That's another future functionality. But once I get this, I can then update all my players to have positions, teams, things like experience, which, yeah, I don't have experience on here. What I did is my player pool, I actually randomly generated experience years so that I could have players that fall at the bottom get base salaries and minimum salaries. And I'll do the same thing in the future, but I'll have actual experience. So if they're getting a base salary amount, it's going to be because that's what their salary is. So if they have 9 years of experience, they're getting minimum wage, they'll get 7-year plus salary ranges. Because there's no, the NFL's minimums go 7 plus, one rookie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus. And what I'll probably do is subtract a year, because I actually technically have my rookies are 1 year. But since I have rookie data, my rookies will have 1 year of data on them. So they'll technically be, you'll get to play with the rookie having already played his rookie stats. That's basically what's going to happen. So it's going to be something along the lines of a 7-year vet would actually be a 6-year vet, because I have to count the rookie year. So if they have, so the rookie would actually be a rookie value, but a 1-year vet is actually a 2-year vet. So, because that's why I subtract and give him a 1 year, because that's actually 2 years of experience, right? So it's a little weird, but it allows me to have their minimums in place for their actual positions. I will do that. That's all coming down the line when I get a little bit more data in there. I don't know how complex that'll be. I haven't created the Python scripts yet. I'm hoping it works and does what I need to. And now that I know the exact pieces of information I need for everybody, that's going to greatly simplify how much data I'm pulling. See, they all have the same data points, which is going to make this a lot easier. Hopefully I got them all. That's another thing. I'm not convinced that all my stats are fully represented here. It's supposed to be fully represented here, and it's probably really close. I'm trying to determine what's missing. Like, yeah, I already can see some stuff that looks like it's missing. So I got I don't have any return. Oh, no, that's interception return. Yeah, I don't have kick returns, punt returns. I have no field goal data. So there is some missing data here. So I will definitely have to adjust that. But right now, I'm good with what I have. I have enough data in that will allow me to start working once again on my UI. So, process flow. What the process flow right now is you create an account. The next thing is I need to have some kind of a prompt or a guide that says, you know, maybe select your team, and then once you select a team, it'll generate the league and give you your team. The other option is I generate the league first, and for example, if I go here and go look at my leagues, I'm curious what leagues did. I have, I don't even know where teams went. I forgot where I put teams. I don't know if they're under the teams. They should have probably been put under the teams folder. What did it do? Did it just throw them into leagues? Let's see where it put them. Oh, that's right. I ran a test. I didn't actually run the create leagues. So I don't even have any data yet. I ran a test that made it work. I should probably actually run this once for realsies. Let's go. Let's see, it's go run dot dash create league dash teams 8 dash cap 279. Oops. CD go CD Oh, we already blew up. Whatever. So listen, look up TCP environment. What the heck is that? TCP? What? I don't know what that means. Probably because I hadn't actually run. Huh. Wow, I hadn't actually tried to run it full on. Something's up with my actual service getting started. I think I have to. Well, the way I did it before is I'm running it as a test. A test creates it correctly. So if I do this, but it's not, a test doesn't go test dash run. Oh, nope, that ain't gonna work either. It's test create league. Oh, it did run. Whoa, whoa. What? Actually, huh, I didn't run the test. I ran the actual process somehow there. But it doesn't summarize what teams I got though. Let's see, did it actually do anything then? If I didn't run the actual test, did I actually run the function? Let's see. And that's not right. And that's not right. Okay, so we did not, I don't know what it did. Guess I haven't actually tried the determination of where create league. It ran it, but I don't see, so this is it did a bunch of upgrades. You can see where they ended. 250s, 260s, pretty much for everybody. I could lower the cap to make sure that there's room for people because I don't have offensive and or I don't have offensive line players in here yet. That's another thing. I got to import offensive. I got to import offensive line players, which is going to make. I got to import offensive line players, which means I got to have more room for players. Now, offensive line has some pretty pricey players. I have my setup to only allow teams to draft two elite salary players, and the reason for that is because apparently that's normal. Most teams in the league only have 2 to 3 elite players. Elite salary players, which means top tier. Now, I don't know how that works exactly because top tier means they're kind of like their salary is separated from the rest of the group and everybody else kind of falls to the bottom. So that being a limit, I'm going to have to like have different kinds of availabilities. Like randomly putting in certain elites into a draft so people when they draft their well for rookies it's not a big deal, for a draft is okay, but I'm talking about like I slowly want to introduce people being able to get other players as they become available. So that means I'll be putting in other seasons players by way of allowing them to be drafted into the league. Now, what that means is for like normally in the NFL, right? You get your same players and guys who are in waivers or the draft or whatever, they're rookies or they're young guys or the guys who are just kind of, on the cusp of being okay. But then I will never be able to introduce new great players to a league if I do it that way. Okay, so like over the course of somebody's entire new season, I don't want to have, for me, I'm not going to do generated players. I'm going to have, the goal here is no fakes. Everybody is a true, every one of my players is built from an actual NFL player in the NFL. Which means if they come in, you may have access to some great players. It could be a player another team has, but they'll have a different name. There'll be a different season version of that player. And so my objective is to try to figure out ways to get these guys into the league without flooding it with too many players. Because you still got to pay your salaries, right? So guys don't play, their stats will change and they'll fluctuate because you can get so much from practice, but if you don't actually play, there's going to be less opportunities for you. So if a player has got great stats, I got to introduce them somehow, like maybe in some way have players cycle out. So if a player is dropped or released, maybe in some cases, instead of making them available to everybody else, a new version comes into play. A new guy is now made available to everybody. So you release somebody, a new player, they actually leave the game and a new player is injected. Maybe that player will come back, but it'll be one of those things where it's a moving target where you have these waiver players that's, there'll be an announcement. So-and-so's, makes a decision to join the league and people can check their stats. And so you release somebody and maybe it'll be one of his counterparts. It's like maybe you release Bo Nix. Well, maybe Bo Nix has been playing for 5 years and it'll be a different version of Bo Nix that becomes available to everybody else. That version might not be available, but maybe he'll come back later. So I could cycle out players that have the same name through the waivers and just kind of have them go in and out, just randomly grab different versions of that same player and have them join the league. And so you never know what you're going to get. You may turn around and want to sign that guy back if nobody else wants him. So I don't know. I'm thinking of some ways to kind of sneak other versions of players in through the waiver wires. And the only players, and as per waiver rules, once you release somebody, you can't pick them both. You can't pick them back up like for like a period of time. There's a waiver period in the NFL. Like you let someone go, you can try to negotiate a new salary with that person if they don't get picked up. But by releasing a guy, you're releasing a different version of him. So that's my theory. That's my strategy. And so it'll kind of make the waiver world a little bit more interesting. And that's how I might get new players into the game, as they maybe when one retires, a different version of him will come in. Like you play a guy for 7 years, and he decides to retire because he was already on 7, he's at 14, or maybe he gets hurt and he's out. And that player, if that player leaves, he may actually, if a player actually retires from the league or gets injured out of the league, for the purposes of your league, maybe I'll mark that person off as ended, career ended or something. But all other versions of them can be back in the game. So you might let him go and a new version of him comes in, but he'll have a different name because names are scrambled. And but he's now available to everybody as a result of. So it keeps the league kind of fresh. There will always be new guys coming in and going out, and coming in and going out, and you just have to decide when and when not, when or when not to take a guy who's out there on the waiver wires, wanting to join a team. Now they all have their own salary requirements, own expectations, and whether or not you can take them in or will take them in is yet to be. You got to decide based on your salary capabilities. And I figured with 16 years of players and opportunities to cycle them around a lot, it'll feel pretty fresh and new, as a lot of these guys are going to have their own. If they don't have any real history, you'll know they're pretty new. But players could end up coming back in with some history. We'll see. But that's my objective. So I got to go to my create leagues here, mostly because I don't know where they're going. I'm like, where did that go? What happened to that guy? So there is a test create league. I can run test create league, but I'm not sure what's happening to these players. This one gives me a summary. It'll actually show you all the teams at the end. Or at least I thought it did. It did every other time I ran this. Phase 3, 41. So I got all the players. Most of the players look like they end up around 240, 250. A couple guys got up into looks like they got up. There's only 8 teams, so they looks like they most got up in the upper 250s, 260s. It does some auto upgrades to make sure everybody's filling in the. I may have to put that down to maybe 2. I got to also figure out some logic to kind of randomize who the star of the 2 elites are. You all, I mean, is everybody going to pick quarterback and running back, or quarterback and receiver, or something? There's plenty of elites quarterbacks. There's 12. I mean, if everybody did a quarterback right out the gate, they'd all get an elite quarterback. It's going to be interesting with an 8 team. Everybody could have one. With a 30 team, it's different, right? 12 is not enough. It won't go around for everybody. So that's why I only did 2, because 12 would only be, they'd all be forced to take other positions. And that's kind of why I did 2. It makes teams be forced to take other positions during the elite phases because there won't be enough going around. I could make it like no more than 3 from any position, because that would make 8 teams a little bit more realistic. Because this way everybody couldn't take an elite quarterback. 3 teams could take an elite quarterback. That would be interesting. I'd have to have a logic to count that. But anyway, let's see what's happening with my teams. I do have a create league here. Supposed to save. Failed to create league 48 draft. Save league. Go to definition. All right, so it's going to, where is it going? It's a league. Huh. Let's see. I know I was supposed to be planning for this way. Let's do that in a minute here. Let's leave AI with something to check out for me. Nope. Dang it. See, I can't even start the league. I need to be able to start the league or I won't be able to do this. I didn't realize that my teams are not using the same process. I don't like it when my stuff is not using the same process. Somehow that one got away from me. So yeah, 5. There's no teams. There should be a team ID here. All right, so that'll take a minute. Let's go do some planning. All right, so I do have to put some stuff in here. Let's open up my plan like I had planned to. plan. We'll open up ClickUp. Okay, so my sprint progress for this sprint, it ended yesterday, so I got to go here and see kind of what was done. How far did I get? I got general skills. I think I pretty much got all of these done, though, to be honest. Replace speed skill scaling with dynamic ranges and sys modifiers. Let's go look. Just before I mark it off, I think I did, but we'll go look. We'll go to player skills. Speed is a general skill, so we got that here. Set general skills. Let's see what I did with speed. I think speed was actually one I wanted to review, so it might not be done because it was some weird values going on. And it might be that I have to create a it might be that I need to create a review function. Let's see what we got here. Update the injury fatigue skill calculation. Oh, that's a later thing. Where is injury fatigue? Big play potential. General. Speed. Oh, there's speed. Oh, this is base conditioning. It's base conditioning is injury fatigue. I should probably change this. Just so I don't stop confusing myself. I changed the name. I think base conditioning is more useful because injury and all that stuff is going to be something that gets derived over the course of the game, and they're actually going to split into separate categories as the game progresses. But in the initial, it's just base conditioning. It's going to be used for both those values. We're going to so we'll call it create base conditioning. And I don't know if I should call it a bonus or it's a skill. I mean, I don't know. Haven't decided how that's going to work. We'll close that up. That should update over there. And yeah, see base conditioning. This is created, so we're going to call this to in review. And what else have I got here? So this is one, update the entry fatigue skill. Let's just go over here and open it up. Refine with in-game stats. So this isn't a later thing. I'm not using in-game stats yet because obviously I haven't built in. So that is a later. That shouldn't even be in here, hopefully. Task, test accuracy skill. Which one is that? Is that, should be a PBI. Not a, let's copy this. I just, okay, let's go. I want to see where this is. Oh, oh, that's a test. Test accuracy skill is a test. It's not even a. That's done. I think I have already done that. I'll mark that off. That is not what I was thinking it was. Good thing I marked it where it's supposed to be. That should be fine. Okay. Let's see here. It says it did some stuff to build my go run function. Let's see if it ran it. Are we able to run now? Nope. Wait, no, it is. Okay. League host 2008. Nice. All right, so we are now running. Our service is now running. That's good. Whatever they did. I need to add that to my my JSON file and everything that jump starts everything at once. I have a package. Where is it? Some of these files I edit so rarely, I forget where they are half the time. All right, where is this one? This is a, maybe it's up here. Settings? Nope. Tasks, maybe that's it. Aha. So I gotta go in here and say, start leagues. I don't even have player skills started. I'm trying to decide what player skills, what functionality player skills is going to have. I'm trying to decide how it's different from my system init. It has a lot of functionality that's just like generate ratings, generate skills and player pool. But I think it will have to have values that are like, you know, it's going to have to, let's see, it's going to load the player pool. And then everything else is going to read off of those and set them. But I think I will have to have some management in the player skills. Like update, modify, those kind of things are probably going to have to be in the player skills as well. So we will set that up to run as well. Start player skills. That will be a thing. So services running. Okay, so we gotta go way down here. Playbook, streamer, user account, simulators, coach, players, gateway. Let's go up here. I'll just take this guy. Okay. Did it work? Did I copy it and I just didn't see it? Yep. That's exactly what happened. Okay. All right, so now it has to be set to leagues. Is it leagues or lowercase? It should be lowercase probably. Yeah. And then we have player skills. Oh, come on. All right, so that should add those to my my startup tasks when I run all my services at once. Now we have to go back to my code here. Planning. Close this. All right, so we have tasks. That one's already done. Replace speed skill. I still haven't fixed this one. Where is this one? Ooh. Replace speed skill scaling with dynamic ranges and sys modifiers. Oh. Let's see. Speed skill's got a lot of stuff in it. Oh yeah. That's not done. I think I'm gonna have to push that one. That one's a little bit of work, and it's not ready for prime time. Test. Actually, let's go to my sprint. Create next sprint and move 4 tasks. Well, these guys, how many of them are even available? A lot of these should be in review. Oh, that's right, because I didn't push everything to review. All right, so let's make this easier. Let's go over to the ClickUp link here and go to my file references. Should all be showing up here. It's like, is it overwhelmed by this sheer number? There's 38. I have 38 links, to be honest. All right, so there we go. All right, so we got special teams. A lot of these. All right, so kickoff power. We're going to send that one to is review. Some of these are pretty basic, and I think they're fine. And then we'll go that one. And that one is kickoff skill. Kickoff skill had some stuff, but I think it too is good. And in review just doesn't mean it's in production. I have that. That's released. And I have to do some other stuff on these first. But these are all these are functional and ready to be fully vetted. Let's see here. Special teams. Return bonus. Dang it, stop it. Why is it doing that? Okay. Then we have to do offensive skills. Rush awareness. Don't know why that's there. Let's actually put that on rush awareness. I don't know why it's sitting over there. I mean, that is rush awareness, but that's not rush awareness. That's the rush awareness call, not the function. Rush awareness is a QB feature. Okay, so we have a lot of in reviews. All right, so we got remove scale value and apply post modifier scaling. I did that. What is it? Remove scale value. Oh, post modifier scaling is when I do scale to value later. Okay, I did that. Looks like that's complete. Part of the process. All right, what's this one? Update hand skill to account for poor throws, hit at line, and pass defense. I think I did that. Did I not? I think that was part of get excluded targets. Yeah. Oh, this is just creating it. That's done too. Oh, that was already in review. Okay. What else we got here? Yards per rush. That's done, or should be. What I may have to do is have a checklist option, or basically one of these, one task or one PBI that's sole purpose in life is to check every freaking one of these again and just go through and make sure I'm getting valid data. Now that I've created a few Mongo database queries that are helping me a lot in just validating everything to make sure the numbers look good, that I'm getting players, you know, not all weird out of range. I've got them all setting up and returning a value for everybody, which is important. But also sometimes there's like number ranges are really weird. Like they don't, like I have 2 at the top and everybody else at the bottom. I mean, like way off. So some of these are going to have to be kind of like, okay, well, wait a minute. Everybody shouldn't be that bad. There should be a range or a scale. And I got to make sure that all that stuff kind of happens. What I'll probably do is have to go through and do a remove, but once I don't want to remove anything until I mark it complete. Or in the case of this, should be also in release. I've got to probably do a check, update on QuickUp link, because I don't technically actually have. If I go to this guy and click on here, there's not actually a complete. There's a released, which is the final step, but I don't have complete. So I don't know if it would remove it. Now it might, because if it depends on, because when you go in when you go into your code, you can mark certain states as complete. And I have both in review and released being marked as complete. So if it's using the complete status value or the complete status category, then it would probably work. But I don't want to do it right now because I don't want to remove all my reviews. I actually want to review them. So yeah, there's that. There's FPFM. Okay, so we're going to go here. Mark that to in review. I've still got some reviewing to do on my in reviews. So past base, this is task past. Okay, so this is just a creating it again. And all have been created. Oh, what is that? Oh, no. I seem, look, I have it in here twice. Why do I have it in here twice? Create rush awareness skill. Task rush awareness. Why did I do it twice? What was I doing there? Oh, that's probably because I just put that there, didn't I? Because it was in the wrong place. So I probably thought I didn't have one. That was just silliness, man. All right, so replace fixed values with control modifiers. I do have some fixed values still in there, so I'm going to have to wait on that. So that one's not done. But everything else. All right, what do we got in defensive skills? Got a few here. Let's go see what they are. Update defensive skills. Let's get PR. I think I do have that. Yep. So that's done. And that one. Create punt return skill. That's done. Interesting though. Why is punt return skill way over here though? Where is punt return? Get punt return. Oh, it is a special team skill. Oh, okay. Up, I did it again. Yeah. I have two of them. Whoops. So yeah, that's a problem. Oh well, I guess I'll have two to mark off. Let's go to defensive skills. I suppose there's a kick return one also. And I suppose that one's also new. Yes. Great gurgly murgly man. All right, well, that's why I have some that aren't marked, because a lot of these I marked when I did them. And now I know why some of them are not showing up. And what about that one? Past events. Oh wait, did I just see past events up here? Oh, whoops, that is past tense. Okay. So it looks like review, a couple in development, which have to be, and I already checked defense, all in review. General skills and review. Backlog ideas. Is that because they are truly waiting? Backlog idea. Base conditioning refined within game stats. Yep, that's fine. We have this guy replace speed. Yep, that's fine. And then we got set QB skills, which is a test file item, which is fine. Okay. All right. So let's go back to this and see where we're at. All right, I don't know why that one's showing up as that, but that one should also be marked as in review. I must have missed one. And we got defensive skills. Update. Oh, I already did that. That one is review. I just did an update. Oh, okay, somebody's just did an update. Create kick return skill. That one's also done, but it's just didn't mark. In review. Okay. What are we looking at here? Replace fixed values. Control data skill review. Most of these are done, but those two are going to be a problem. Let's go ahead and go here. We'll move you to in review as a whole. And how can I deal with those? All right, so what I think I'm going to do is we're going to go here. I'm going to change this to define. We're going to same thing up here. Because I think what I am done with here is that I've defined all the skills. I've got some optimization and final review to do, but I think I want to mark these off. So the way I'm going to do that is call these the definition. And then we will go down to the players and we will go to player skills. And I want to create a new item here. We're going to call this one in review is not going to be the same. It's going to be validate. Yeah. We'll go PBI validate defensive skills. PBI validate offensive skills. And PBI validate special team skills and PBI validate QB, because these are ones I've grouped them this way, so, and PBI validate general skills. Okay, so the validations, and then I have what we will do is we're going to take these define general skills. I'm going to take that one and that one, and we're going to put these into general skills. And then we can mark this guy as in review. This is offensive. Same thing. Just give myself a little more room here. Send that one up to in review. Oops. These are supposed to be general. I didn't realize I had accidentally selected them all, moved them all to the other location. All right, anyone else? Okay, I think we got it. Now those ones all have to get done, but we will get around to those later. We'll go back over here. Who's not done? Who is showing up is not done? Assigned. 4 tasks missing. Oh, assignee. Okay, so I think we're good. These guys should be complete. How do I mark? Backlog, 4 tasks, assigned, effort, 12 points. Okay, well, I guess that's it. I don't have to push anything. This is just what's in there. I got 4 added, 4 without an assignee I don't care about. I could just say me, I guess, on all these just to make it, just to make the code, make that happy. Effort, that doesn't really do anything. And okay, all right, let's go to the new one. Let's create a sprint. We're going to go 9:19 to 10:2, which is going to be exactly what it shows. What does this team want to accomplish during this sprint? Well, I'll tell you. I think what I want to do is let's, well, the objective I think would get the, I'm only going to set one objective because I don't know how long it's going to take, and it's a UI effective, and I got to load data. It may be bigger than a bread basket, so I don't know. What is a bread basket? I think it is bigger than a bread basket. It's creating a screen and loading teams. So there may be a couple things involved in that. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to come down to what exactly how quickly I'm able to get a couple of minor things resolved. It looks like things are running. I don't know what this thing is doing at this half second here. It's saying run, go run, dot, leagues. Oh, leagues is running. It started it. I'll say keep and continue. I forgot. It got things started for me, so we should be good to go. Let's do that. So I think everything's loaded. I haven't attempted to call and run a league yet, but we'll get to that. We'll go ahead and finish my planning here. So we're going to say create initial UI for new user league creation and team assignment. That's all I want. That's all I want. It's only it's a little thing. It's a tiny little thing. Can't possibly take 2 weeks, can it? He says with rolling his eyes. Doing anything in Unity, I've learned, is not easy. Now, these are just mostly menus and data display. But here's the thing. I don't I don't do I don't like data display in the sense that I don't like just dropping text in front of people. I don't feel that's not a fun way to view data. Okay, so there's some games that do a pretty good job. They'll use cards, which is what I want to do. I want to try to create a system where you can see uh, your team in card format, which I do have a what do you call it? A player view. No, I have a playbook view. I don't have a player view. What I probably should do is copy the playbook view and just load players because it's basically going to be the same kind of thing. And then I want to add filters that allow people to like look at their collection, look at their different teams that they have, and they can then once they're into the whatever their thing is, it'll have sub filters like offense, defense, special teams, what you want to look at for individual players. I got to do some sorting that'll allow people to like view players. Sometimes, sometimes people prefer um, viewing players by numbers. I don't know. I guess I'll have to see what people like. I want to create a more gamified appearance where you're going to see numbers, obviously, but the trick is coming up with a way to do that so that my players look. I don't know. I just don't want to. I just don't like spreadsheets. I think spreadsheets look clunky, and people should be able to just view and see. Like I've noticed a few games. Let me load up an example of what I'm hoping for. So I'm gonna have to create some tasks. I have to go. This is going to be Android UI. Well, Android UI web is the same as PC UI. It's the same, but I'm building it all for Android first, and then I'll do a PC version where I reformat for bigger aspect ratio, which really isn't going to be a whole lot more different. It's going to be exactly the same code. I just want to build it in a way that when you load the PC version, maybe you can see more, some spaces, better distribution. Some things are build my code so it's better at resizing itself. That kind of thing. So I didn't realize it was already 3 o'clock. Holy moly. This day is cruising away from me, folks. It's getting away. It's cruising. All right. So let's go create some PBI objectives. We already have a game home screen. Is that one not done already? Oh, I was confident. Yeah, whatever. Did I break this down at all? Stadium, facilities, training center. Oh. Front office, headquarters, hall of records. Yeah. Let's rename this. Define location. All right, let's do that. So yeah, all right. What else I have? There's Sim AI. That's just the AI Android player models. Don't show player card when they have the ball. Okay, well that's just the gameplay. Score banner, tap player between tap crowd, Show foreplays and highlights. Oh, enable user play selection. That's all stuff I don't actually. I don't think I want. I think an Epic for the Android that's too big. I got just too much. Like the Android Epic is to create all the UI for Android, and there's a lot of stuff. The Epic might actually be better off saying create the home page and then all the stuff underneath the home page, because there's a lot of parts. I mean, I guess I could say that's one thing, but if I don't, the Epic itself would be pretty massive because I could put a ton of features in here. Like I don't even have the breakdown of like. I mean, if I go look at game plan, I guess some of these items are just so these are the situations. I should probably have. No, I don't want to mess with that. I do have an idea for some extra things. Let's put one in here. This one's going to be special. I'll say create. And special situations is going to be like add task. Warning. No, not 2-minute warning, sorry. OT plan. What is it? Challenge settings. Coin toss settings. Let's see what other things. Inside kick settings. I know there's some other things, but I can't remember them right now. This might be part of coin toss, but we'll just do that for now. All right, so I don't need that one anymore. I got. What do I want to do? User authentication. I already got that. Game system tag, web UI, practice squad player, single season career, franchise, streamer, game mode, pay features, crowd effects, system settings, service, game time interactions, scrimmages, create, custom bot function, coach service, team, unit rankings. Defensive ranking, special teams ranking. Let's rename this. This is going to be epic. This is going to be epic. Team and player rankings. Wait, what? Mode. Oh, let's rename that. That's supposed to be a feature. I have my stuff all messed up. All right, so I don't have a UI one set up for. Let's say let's change this to rename application navigation. And we are going to, oops, can I change this to a folder? Nope. Cannot. Okay, let's delete that. We'll go up here. Let's go to Android UI. Create. App epic app navigation screens. Space statuses, what is that? Oh, space statuses. Okay, did I create it? Wait, did I? Oh, I think it did. It blew it up. Frickin' frijoles. Epic app navigation screen /location. Now, create button and loaded and basics screen loads for the biggest features. This is the one I want to put into my sprint. So the first thing I want to add, well, let's see. We have, the first thing we already have account creation. So we got to have a PVI, which is I'm trying to decide if I want to do team selection first or league creation first. So they pick a team. They pick a team. Huh. So if they come in, I'm trying to decide how I want to start the game. I have an idea, but I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so what I'm trying to decide is, I think the theme or the basic story behind the game is everybody starts off as one faction. But as you progress, you can start taking players from other factions, trading, drafting, waivers, whatever. You just start bringing in these guys from other factions. And they start to contribute to your team. So you may start off with 1 or 2 or 3. You know, over time, you can start adding more and more and more players from other factions. And I think it'll affect things like your team cohesion a little bit, but they can build up maybe some team cohesion with your team. But it would be interesting because I'm trying to determine how I'm going to build the initial factions. So I can't really do that right out the gate because I don't have the draft year for all my players yet. And the draft year determines their faction. The draft team, the team that drafted them, determines their factions. Which is interesting because there's like one of the most famous Broncos, who's not actually, you know, I mean, I wouldn't even have him in this game, is John Elway. And he was drafted by the Colts, but never played for the Colts. But he was drafted by the Colts. And so he would actually technically be whatever the mascot is for the Colts as a Bronco. So he wouldn't even be available as a Denver Bronco, whatever their mascot is, which is a V-Born Scorned. They're one of the few teams I actually know because it's the Broncos, of course. Why wouldn't I know that? But all right, so let's do this. We'll say I'm trying to decide if I want to let the player have some idea of what their team is, which means I have to create the league first. Now, I might not let them view the players yet, but I can say, you know, current salary cap is based on what was generated for them and how much you have room under your salary cap on that team. I think I will do that. So the first thing that needs to happen is creating your first league screen. And what this is going to do is we'll go in here and what that means is let's we're going to say task weight bar or a progress bar. Let's put that progress bar for lead generation. And then we'll have a task that says prompt open option to select team. All right, and then we're going to go back over here and we'll say add, nope, that's not the one I want, this one. Oh, okay. PDI, team selection screen. Task. Show team logos with selection option. or let's actually change that. We'll just go apply selection option to logos, display team salary and cap room. Values, task display, elite player, cards under logo, task allow zoom on player cards to see skills. All right, there you go. That'll make it easier for people to kind of see who they are. They get a little taste of what players they get a look at. And then after all that is said and done, task, add, meet your team, continue button. I'll say okay, we'll hit enter, we'll say add task, and this is going to be a PBI. Display. Roster screen. See, I get, I do this all the time. I get into the weeds of creating my things when in reality, it's like, what do these entail? So I'm putting all the features of what that entails into the screen. So it's like, great. But I'm adding functionality, which is not what this is about. This epic is about just creating the pieces, not the internal parts. So in theory, the internal parts would have more. Like I could maybe just create, like they wouldn't be connected to data. So maybe I think of it that way. So I can create all these bits and pieces and parts, but they won't actually connect to data. The actual data connection would be, okay, well, you've got all your parts in place. Now, you know, hook up those things. So let's go create the parts, and then we'll look at connecting data. And the only problem is I'll have to create those parts kind of separate. Let's just say, which is fine. I'll have to call them and load them, but they'll have to be called and loaded separately. So this one's going to have its own set of bits and parts, which is to say I got a task. Create, what is it? Geez, I haven't used Unity in so long, I've already forgot the term. Is it a scene? No, it's not a scene. It's a game object, but it's an asset game object, which is also wrong. What's it called? Prefabs. That's what it is. Create prefab from playbook page for base layout. Task add filter options for users player views. Add sub filters for player view. Filtering. Okay, so I think that's good for now. It's going to be tricky because I'll have to have the same functionality of expanding, but I think I already have the expanding. I haven't gotten down is, for one, I haven't actually loaded a play in my playbook to the master section, so I haven't made that work yet because I don't have a default playbook yet. Yes, I know, so many things. I gotta have a default playbook and a default game plan, so stuff that exists naturally, and then I can give users some amount of plays. I have to give users some amount of plays, so they're gonna get like 10 plays. That's all. Get a few offensive, some defensive, and some basic offensive, basic defensive, and some basic what do you call it, special team stuff. You know, that every team should have, with a game plan that functions off of those parts. And then, as a person's playing and learning, they'll be able to get new plays and new bits and parts, and they can enhance their game plan, and just kind of, it starts them off slow and allows them to build, make it more robust as they go into the game. And they can go as robust as they want. I mean, they can add plays and play what parts that they want. And as they do things like win, which will be a good one. Winning, I can't guarantee a win, right? You could come in with you can get the worst team and just lose every time. So I can't like not give people rewards, or so it'll be things like complete your first game, complete some training sessions. All these different things can start giving them like cards and things to start building up their team, or maybe even they'll have shots at the waiver wires, which will allow them to get more cards and more guys that play. Guys level up, they go into your collection, and having built a collection of players, which I don't even know if I want to call it a collection. I want to call it, what could I call it? Your collection is like, yeah, they're a collection, but a collection implies you either, I want it to be something like you have access to these people. I want to say Rolodex, but nobody knows what a Rolodex is. Your contacts, your elite contacts. I don't know, something like that. And as they start to go into your contacts list, you can see how they're doing, you can review them, and then you can call them together to build teams. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to allow for more like advanced teams that are used specifically off of the cards that are in your collection. I don't know, maybe I will stick with collection. I don't know what else to call them. It'd be cool if there was another option of something to call them. Because because you collect them, they have. Let's see if AI's got some ideas. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what the term what I'm thinking of. So, just to be different, I am considering calling my collection portion of my game something a bit different, but I don't know if there is a term that fits. adding players to the collection is collecting them, but if they are in your collection, they can be used to build special types of collection only teams. Built. Thus, as those players advance in various leagues of yours, they will gain fame and thus new accolades and card updates. Card visual updates. Feel like the idea of calling on players stored in a collection is kind of weird. Thematically, it is more like calling on no, like contact list. But that is kind of a lame term. Wow, it read that so fast. It must have been reading while I was typing. There's no way. I mean, even in computer terms, it has to. It's like it had to have been reading while I was typing. There's just no other way. Network. Oh, a network. I kind of like that. Or circle. Inner circle implies trusted, known players. Oh, yeah, I like that. Alumni list. No, because some of them could still be playing. You might still have them in leagues. Because if you could only, if alumni would be good, like if they graduate from your, or like if they retire from playing for your teams, they become alumni. But, a network, depth pool, talent stable. Talent stable's kind of good too. Scouting agency, huh? You know, there's a few options there. Gosh, I like inner circle, implies friends, known people, people you can reach out to, or even your player network. That works pretty good too. I like a couple of these options. Hmm. Hmm. Now what? I have to decide. I guess it's going to come down to me because I don't have enough followers to help me vote on this. I got to decide. Uh, maybe I could call it anything at any time. It's just words, right? But it would be kind of cool to put up some kind of a. Yeah, whew, there's some good ones. All right, let's go create a list. Um, let's go, new page. And this is your collection. I think collection is actually, I don't even know if collection is a service. It's just, I think it's just players, but uh, first step to this, which may not be service, is to decide a name. Here. Is it a talent agent? What are they called? Is it a scouting agency? What are they called? I forgot what that's even a thing. What are sports agencies? Sport agencies called? Sports agencies or athlete representation firms. That's no sports agency, talent agency. Some prominent examples include Creative Artists Agency, Wasserman and Octagon. These firms specialize in representing athletes and managing their careers by negotiating contracts, securing endorsements, and handling marketing and financial matters. Talent agency. Syndicate. I don't know if I like that. I mean, it's like, it is a group, right? Your talent syndicate, but it seems weird. Bureau is like they're all together. It's like a company corporation of all these players. I don't like it. But if I have talent agency, you can have um, you can name it like maybe your own special name of some kind, your custom name. That'd be the only thing you'd be allowed to do custom names because like I said, I don't trust. Sorry, I don't trust gamers, and I don't want to have to filter all the names that people come up with because people come up with some terrible names, and I'd be like, oh, you're constantly trying to figure out if somebody's got a. Now, if it was a solo game, I wouldn't care what you name your stuff because you just be you seeing it. But if it's going to be something that other people could see possibly, I don't want to have to filter all that garbage. Talent stable is interesting. The problem with talent stable is it just feels I'm trying to think if there's another like you can go talent agency, right? Which is one thing. Or you can talent. How about talent network? That's a good one. How about talent networks? You don't have to use them exactly. Talent network. That's actually kind of good. I like that one. I have roster network, which seems kind of weird. Or player network. Technically, but roster network, technical, expandable. I don't know. I think I like your talent agency, your talent network. I'm really kind of leaning towards one of these, or one. Actually, I'm leaning towards talent network and player network. And plays, I have. I got to figure out how I want to do plays too, because I feel like plays could also. You could build a playbook. I might just let people use their plays from whatever they've earned. I was trying to decide if I want to let plays level up, but what would I do with them? I mean, leveling up a play doesn't make it better. It's like there are things that can make you do better with plays, but it's generally like masteries. So players have play masteries, so you would want to use plays. So like there might be certain plays that your guys have mastered. Maybe you could only use plays that have no, I don't know. I don't want to get too big in the weeds in that, but for now, player network or talent network are kind of my top choices. I'm leaning towards player network as I go. Talent sounds good too, but unless I'm doing coaches, and coaches are cards, I could call it talent network, which means I can also get coaches in there because they're not technically players. Roster vault, showcase circle, prestige deck, fame archive. Huh. It did give me some good ideas, but I'm leaning on talent network. Could include coaches, players. That's why I think that might be the best one. I'm really leaning towards talent network. I mean, AI got me there. I mean, it gave me the words that I was looking for. I think network is a really good one, and I'm liking that. The only other option was agency. Talent agency implies that you've got like a business going, which could work, but that just creates another screen to navigate to. So if you go to talent agents, if you go to your talent agency building, these are the guys that are maybe the more guys in your talent agency, the more income you have. I mean, it might be a way to work a different angle of how. Um, I like this possibility. Could have game financial implications as it progresses, which could be good too. Huh. And maybe as you get certain levels of players, your agency, your talent agency can join once you've reached certain levels in your talent agency, which would happen as you fill it with requirements of our player types. Like you get like all the players necessary to make a team. So at level 1, you've got all the players you need to make um, a no injury team, and you might have one that's good enough to make a, a what do you call it? An injury team, which is a full team, 51-man roster. You may actually be able to do a champions one where you have to have players that have all won a championship. Usually it's after you've got your first championship, you'll have championship players. But it is possible you wouldn't get it right away if like you've traded away guys and moved them and they didn't get leveled up enough or whatever. They didn't get to become championship players. But or maybe some of the players that are on your final roster aren't in your agency yet. So in theory, you want to eventually fill your agency with as many players as you can. It gives you more options, right? And then you can start building your own special agency teams. You can tweak your champions team. Maybe after 2 or 3 championships, you'll have enough different players. You can start tweaking which champions are going to be in there as long as it meets the various level salary caps. Maybe when you get really good, you can go into the Ultra Championship Agency League, where you're allowed 5 elites or something, and you just got a salary cap of like 400 million instead of 279 million, and you're just, or it increases the salary cap the bigger, more amazing the league is. But anyhow, let's. I think we're getting there. I think I've got some pretty good plans for how I want to do that. I'm thinking that's going to be my term for my collection. Let's go back to planning and see if I can finish that up. I'm already at 2 hours, so of course I've gone over my planned limit, but I've only got an hour and a half left for the day. Well, let's close this. And we are still, where was I? Did I have this on another page? I feel like I should have something, have another page somewhere. Haha, there it is. This is going to be a lot. I'm already getting to a lot of stuff for 2 weeks. Got to create my league screen and progress bar to generate the league, which I may actually trigger because I want to have that stuff. Then I can click to open option to select team, which will open a screen, which is team selection, show team with all this stuff. I have to create that, which I may have to have placeholders for all my logos. I doubt I'm going to create all the team logos because I haven't got them all set or assigned to any particular team yet, but I do need to do that. I have a couple of them created. Everything I'm doing is AI generated, so it means I'm going to be fiddle-faddling with that. I would love to get 32 of them created for logos. I've got like 2. So yeah, there's that. And it takes a long time. And so I probably should start creating a checklist of all of the logos I've got created and start doing that. Do I want to do that as part of creating the team selection screen? I cannot. So, because that's data related, I got to put it on the back end, which means I got to be able to call that team and load that team and put him on the screen. So I'll just have logo placeholders for now. Maybe I'll load up a blank card. I have cards that I can load. I'll just load them and just say pull up the card, and then we will populate the card later. That will work. And then we have to run. Okay, so I think that's good. Let's go to my sprint. And this one is my app navigation stuff. We will go add task. And then we're going to go wait, that's not. Where's the oh, backlog. That's what I want. All right. Validate defensive skills. I got the validations, but I don't think I want to do those right now. I'm going to stay focused on did it push these all the way down here? Yep. All right, so we're going to say add to sprint. Oh, wait. No, that's not what I wanted. Nope, 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 nope. Take that out. No. Great gurgly murgly. What the heck? That wasn't what I picked. App navigation. That's what I wanted. Oh, all right. Well, that's what I wanted. That's a terrible name. I got to fix that. Defensive rankings. I don't know. I'm not putting that in yet. What the heck, man? I'm not even close to that one being in there. Moving. Let's close this. All right. All right, so I think that's it. Those are the only three I think I'm going to put in right now. But I do need to give this a better name. We're going to call this epic. Right, no, feature. New player setup screens. No, did I not say the name? All right. There we go. I want to pull this guy up. Can I do that? We'll put it up here by the Android AI or UI. I should change the color of folders versus back-end stuff. Like maybe even change up, because this is just Android related, right? So if I'm going to have this folder be something, it's going to have to be, can I change the folder color? Edit folder. Well, maybe not. How do they change the folder color? Some of these folders have different colors. Is that a color? Is that a favorite setting? Is that what that is? No, because I think those are different. I don't fully understand. I don't fully understand ClickUp yet. I haven't got it down yet, so I apologize on that little plop plop. Because, oh, folder color, here it is. 3 colors, yay! I got, oh, it must be status of where you're at. Oh, okay. So having nothing done in it, it's got no data. I think the further along something gets, probably the brighter the color. Because green is go, right? You're in progress. I don't know. Oh, I could have a label. So what would green would be ready, and then yellow would be in progress, and red would be complete. Thing is, some of these may never be complete. They'll always be in progress. I'll always be knocking stuff off, adding new features to it. I mean, it'd be nice that some of them might eventually be able to be marked complete. Then I just create a new epic, like fully. But I think at some point you have to kind of like say, okay, maybe call it build 1, you know, change the name and call it, locked, or change its color to, let's change, let's put some things on here. We're going to say ready. In progress. Complete. And then I have this going. We'll say ready, because that means there's stuff going. It's actually, let's put it in progress according to that logic. And then like this one, unless, I don't know why this is red. I didn't set any of these, to be honest. So this says it's red, which I know all these things are not done. How are all these showing up as complete? Oh, it's just, that's not even close. But I've done some of these things. Let's go here. This is like ridiculously over, call it in progress. At most, none of these things should be, nothing's going to be marked complete. I don't have any of these career, franchise, streamer, demo modes. I think I actually have this in progress. I do have some streamer stuff going. It's just stuff that's currently just set in a game mode. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Career, franchise. Oh, game mode. Yeah, I haven't gotten around to that yet. That's a later thing. Pay feature identification, monetization That's monetization. That is not not ready. Let's go. I'm going to rename this. Call this monetized features. I already know what some of those are. I don't know if there's any of them on here. So, I do have one. Okay. And this would be a feature additional teams. Additional basic teams. And these are really, none of them, they're just like in what do you call it, backlog idea state. But I want to have them in here because special season types. And some of these I may or may not monetize. They're features I have ideas for. And then there's some that, see, the trick is it's going to be the difference between what's on Android and what's on PC. PC, I want to give all features for an amount. But there may be some features, some things that are additional, but I don't want it to be anything that prevents you from being able to just play the game. You may not play it in the same quantity. Like if you're just loving the game and you're like, I want to be able to play more than one team, you can like buy an extra team. If you want to, this way you could run 2 teams at once and maybe build your collection faster. That kind of thing. But you don't have to. You can just run on one team. Most games allow you to play one team. I think. Actually, I don't actually know that for sure. Let's go see. Let's see what in general, or actually not in general. How many football management games like FanToZ Football 9 allow players to have more than one team to manage? Very few. FanToZ Football 9 supports multi-teams in a single league or across leagues. Built for deep simulation and long-term careers, you can manage multiple franchises, especially useful for testing strategies or running custom leagues. Browser-based football sim with a league system and team management. You can technically manage more than one team by creating multiple accounts, so it's not by intended design. Offers detailed playbooks, training, financial. Okay, so I've checked out Red Zone. It's interesting. Their simulation's terrible too. Draft day sports, pro football, college football, Wolverine Studios, single team management, deep customization and evolution with no native multi-team control. can simulate other teams but not actively manage one-on-one. Pocket GM series, football coach, college dynasty, mobile first, single team only, focused on streamlined management and progression. Multi-team management introduces complexity in UI design, toggling between teams without confusion, AI simulation, avoiding conflicts of interest or unrealistic trades. Save structure. Tracking multiple teams, states, and histories. Nah. Gets away with it because it's built for simulation purists like you, people who want to test systems, run experiments, or build entire leagues from scratch. If you're designing your own sim, this feature could be a standout differentiator. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I just want to see anyone else who does it. And I'm planning on it, because I don't think it's that hard. I might be wrong. There may be something I'm missing as far as what you can and can't. It doesn't sound that hard. I mean, if Joe can have one and Mike can have a team, why can't one of them have two teams? There's no difference. It's just the simulation setup. Is it confusing? It shouldn't be, as long as you're very good at defining. Like you might have to say, when you go into your team selection, what league do you want to manage? And that's usually the first thing. You could, if you set it on, like maybe you set your default, or it'll be the last team that you are on, and it'll change it. But I probably should have some way to identify our way to change your league. This way everything is on the same. So if you're navigating a team, you don't have to worry that you go to another page and you're on a different team. You should always be on the same team. It should just set your current state, whether you're on a collection page or your team page or your team 2 page or team 3 page, whatever. And then you go to a playbook or a game plan, it should be that same team. You're always just toggling which one you're on. And maybe it even, highlights that for you. Whenever you go to those pages, it says league blah, league blah, league blah, and you're always on the same league. If you change one, then it'll just toggle you to that team, and everywhere you go is going to be that team. If you want to manage everything in one team, you have to go to every team and manage it. But you can confuse yourself, I suppose, by making it more complicated than it needs to, but I think it'll work. And I don't think anybody's going to buy more than one or two teams. I mean, if you're buying two teams, I think one team is pretty solid, pretty good. And if you really want to have a second team, you can. The only advantage is, again, if you buy an extra team, you're able to build your collections quicker because those players will get the same credit. So it's kind of like there's a reason to have another team beyond just wanting to play more. It will actually help your collection or your special team agency, your talent agency. Just get those guys some more experience, get more players building up at once. Okay, I think I've got it. I think I've got everybody I want in my sprint. It's just these three things, but each one of them has, some decent amount of meat to them. And now I need to get to work on it. It's 4:02. I don't know what I'm going to do, but for now, I'm stopping. And I will be back shortly, and I'll go into Unity, and maybe I'll start doing some stuff. Maybe 45 minutes worth? I don't know. Till then, God bless.